Hey artists, this week I have a book for you to read on my Google Classroom, and it is about Henri Matisse. And he used bright, bold colors, and his art was kind of wild looking. And so we're going to do some art in that similar style today. He did something called Fauvism. It's a style of art using bright colors to create a sense of explosion on the paper or the canvas. And so instead of just having a boring city, today we're going to be using our crayons and markers to draw a city with bright, bold colors, and we're going to use crayons to create the reflection in the water. So follow along with me, and I can't wait to see what you create. All right, to get started here, the first thing we need to do is grab our white paper and fold it in half the long hot dog way. And that's going to put the line down the middle for where we're going to put our buildings. Our buildings we're going to do with marker, and we are just going to be thinking about, I'm going to set that example right there. We're going to be thinking about different sizes for our buildings. So I'm going to grab some different colored markers, and I can have a tall, skinny building. I can have a short, wide building. And what I'm doing is making sure that I stop when I get to the line so all of my buildings stay above the line. And then you're just going to color those guys in with your marker. And then we're going to add some more buildings. We're using this rectangle shape for our buildings, and then we'll go back in and decorate them with windows and doors. Right now we're just trying to get these rectangle buildings along the line for our picture. Okay, I'm going to grab a different color. I might do some orange buildings. I can have buildings behind the first buildings I drew to give my picture some depth. That way it doesn't look like they're all just in a row. It shows that behind there's more, and the city kind of goes back. So I can add one here, making sure I stay right on that line. I can add a small skinny tower here. And then maybe I'll do another shorty building here. And I'm just using that rectangle shape, and I'm coloring in with my marker. We want the top to be really bold with these bright marker buildings because we're going to use crayons to show the reflection in the water. Okay, I can put a building back here. I'm going to fill it in with my marker, stopping at the line, carefully coloring in. Alright, and I might do a real skinny one behind this one to show it goes even further back. And then I'm just filling that in with my marker. And then I have room just for a couple more buildings. I might do a couple blue ones. So I'm going to put a little building right here. Fill that in using the marker. And one more building over here. Boom. Now I've got buildings all the way across my line. And the line here is to show where the buildings stop and the water is reflecting. So we imagine there's like a pond, or maybe this is a city on a river, on a lake, even on the ocean. My next step is to add some roofs. And so to make each roof, I'm using red, or you can use black. You can kind of trade back and forth, and I'm adding it with a triangle shape. And we're just going to start putting some roofs on these guys to make them look more like buildings. And you can, they don't all have to be triangle shaped. You can add a little variety. I might make this one over here more of this shape. Trapezoid. Okay. I might make this one a long skinny roof to change it up a little bit. Maybe I can make this one like a dome-shaped roof just to make it a little bit of variety here. And the next step is I might add a couple of little black roofs. Because right there, I think it would have shown through that green. So I'm going to use black. And again, just give it a little bit of variety. And I'll put one here. Now that they all have a roof on top of them, these guys need some doors and windows. And so you can make it really not complicated by just turning your marker sideways and making straight lines for the windows like this. And then you can put a little door in down here with a bigger rectangle and color that in. Don't go under your line. I can make some long windows, like a big picture window. So you can get creative here and make some different kinds of windows. And you always want to put a door so people can get inside the building. And so we just want to get these windows here. Maybe I can do a curved door on that one. Just adding a little variety, but throwing those windows in here to make it look more interesting. These might be long, skinny windows. Everything we draw on top, we're going to end up drawing on the bottom with crayon. So I don't want to make them too complicated. I can put some real skinny windows here. And you're just going to go ahead and make sure every building has some windows and doors using your markers. And then we'll get to the next step. Now remember, you can always fast forward the video if you're ahead of me. Okay. Looking good. I might do some red windows and doors too, just for a little variety. I'm going to put a little circle window there and a big lookout window here, and then some of the smaller windows and a door. And awesome, I'm on to my last one. All right, and now the buildings have been completed. They're colored in with marker, they have roofs, they have doors, and they have windows. The next step is your crayons are going to come out and be very helpful. I'm going to color the sky a nice dark blue. And so you're just going to kind of go around your buildings and get that colored in. And over here. And we want it to be dark because we know that the reflection is going to be much lighter. And so up here we want these dark, bold colors, and in the water it's going to be a lighter reflection. So our water blue is going to be a lighter blue, and our buildings are going to be lighter colors as well. But this ends up looking so cool. All right, almost done with the sky, and then we'll be ready for the water. Okay. Going around and around. I turn my paper all over the place to make it easier to color places in. So I am ready for the next step. My city is done, and now I'm going to start putting the reflection in the water. So I'm going to look at the buildings I drew first, which I think were these purple ones. So I'm going to take my purple, And I'm going to just kind of mirror a rectangle down in the water. Now, we know that they don't have to be exactly the same as these on top, because when the water is moving, the reflection gets moved, and it's not going to have to be perfectly straight lines. And I'm going to color very lightly. This is very light for my reflection in the water. And then I'm going to need to add the reflection of the roof and the windows. And something I found that makes it look lighter is, instead of using black for the reflection, I use brown to kind of lighten it up, so that in the water things aren't quite as dark. So I put that triangle on kind of upside down. If it's hard for you to think about what that looks like, you can always turn your paper over to make it so you can see that triangle shape. And then you're going to put that door opposite, and I've got 4 windows here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, because it's just the reflection coming down in the water. I'm going to use orange instead of red for my reflections. So I'm going to go ahead and put this here, put that little reflection there, and put that door reflection so it goes right next to the other door. And then you're just going to put your windows in. And I don't even make them like a full rectangle. I just kind of scribble that shape, because the water would be moving anyway. Now I'm going to get my blue, and I'm going to do my blue buildings. Just light coloring for that reflection in the water. And then I'm going to take my brown crayon, and I'm going to use that to do the windows and doors. So I put that opposite window and door, opposite window and doors here. Okay. I'm going to grab the orange and put my reflection here. Alright, and now I can put this building here. And I'm going to color that in real light. And I'm going to add this building over here that comes behind the purple building. And I'm going to color that in really lightly. And I have another orange building down here. Okay, I'm going to grab my red crayon and put that door and those windows. And I've got that round window and that big wide window. And over here I'm going to do the same. And this ends up looking so cool when we finish it up and add that water, and it just looks like our city is reflecting down into the water. I'll put my roof right here, and I'm using brown instead of black. Alright, put my door here and my windows. Put the little roof on. And that looks like my last color to add is going to be the green. So I'm going to put my big green building here. Lightly coloring it in. And this green building here that went above my purple building. Lightly coloring it in. And then adding that roof. And adding the roof over here and over here. It's going right out of the page there. Put the door here, our windows. Okay, And now, oh, I missed one. Put my door reflection, my window reflections. All right, and now you can see I have my bright, bold city and the light water reflections underneath. The last step is going to be to add in the blue water. If you have a lighter blue crayon, that'll be perfect. And if not, you can just push a lot lighter when you add in the water. And so you're just going to be putting that water around the reflection of the buildings. And you can even go over them a little bit because it's all supposed to be in the water. And you just fill that in. And this ends up being such a cool piece of art that you could share with somebody at your house. I'm sure they will love to see what you created. All right, and now I've got that all completed. And you can see that original one that I had too. Very cool. Happy creating. I can't wait to see what you made. Make sure you put it on Google Classroom.